until she saw her son also appear at her husband's banquet. The woman was horrified to discover that while she worked tirelessly every day, even selling her kidney to raise money for the father and son's surgery, they had been faking their illnesses all along. They had been pretending to be poor, concealing their illustrious family background, instead of enjoying a happy life as a family of three. They had deliberately staged the act of both father and son urgently needing surgery funds at the same time. It was because the woman lived at the bottom of society that they forced her into a desperate situation where she could only choose between the two, just to satisfy the father and son's disgusting game of using her for entertainment. They were testing who was more important in the woman's heart, but she was unwilling to give up either of them. As a result, she ended up working 8 jobs a day, constantly being played for a fool by them. She never imagined that the jobs she found in times of hardship were also deliberately arranged by them. This time, while she was working part-time at a mall distributing flyers, the father and son were nearby, buying gifts with a scheming woman. They purchased $1 million watch without any hesitation, completely unaware that the wife was working hard for their $600,000 surgery fee. At this moment, the husband's fair-weather friends deliberately came to cause trouble. They falsely accused the woman of damaging his limited edition shoes and demanded that she either kneel or compensate them, otherwise they would file a complaint, and she wouldn't receive her salary for the month. Thinking of her husband and son, the woman could only humiliatingly kneel down, while the father and son watched coldly from a distance. A friend reminded the thugs not to go too far, and only then did the rich second-generation son show some restraint. However, the husband never imagined that his friends, whom he had indulged, no longer regarded the woman's life as valuable at all. The business card they deliberately dropped would lead his wife to sell one of her kidneys while still alive. To avoid worrying the father and son, the woman not only concealed this matter but also continued to take care of them as usual. However, when they saw the same chicken soup day after day, they appeared touched on the surface and drank it in big gulps, but as soon as the woman left, they couldn't wait to spit it out. They then complained that the woman, being from the bottom of society, had no taste and only knew to buy this kind of cheap chicken soup to nourish her body. The woman's sincerity was simply feeding dogs. After cooperating with the wife's performance at the hospital, the father and son went out to indulge in revelry at night. They threw a party at their villa, unaware that their wife, who worked part-time, was also there. While working, the woman inadvertently saw a photo of the father and son together. She was about to take a closer look when the manager suddenly called her away. At this moment, the husband, with his arm around the scheming woman, started playing intimate games at the instigation of the crowd. This scene happened to be seen by the wife. She couldn't believe that the well-dressed man was her poor husband. To verify that this was all an illusion, she even deliberately called her husband's phone, but the fact slapped her hard in the face. What was even more embarrassing was that she had now become the object of service for this group of people. She never thought that she would be the object of their ridicule. Watching them constantly mocking her, the woman finally realized that this was all their means of playing with her. The woman was so angry that she wanted to go up and question her husband, but she never thought that her son was also their accomplice. He looked down on his birth mother who worked 8 jobs a day and instead hoped that his father would quickly marry the scheming woman. The scheming woman took the opportunity to persuade them to end the game so that the three of them could start a new life. However, the son's unyielding personality wanted to see the game through to the end, insisting on determining who was more important in his mother's heart compared to his father. The woman never imagined that she would lose a kidney for such a family. At this point, the woman's anger had reached its peak, but she couldn't erupt now. She wanted to make this father and son pay a painful price.